Hello, welcome to Mentoring with the Masters. My name is Jennifer Kuyrkendall. I'm the Third Circuit representative for the Young Lawyers Division Board of Governors. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with the current Florida Bar President, Greg Coleman. Greg, I know your platform, everything you're interested, well not everything, but you're interested in technology. Tell us about it.
So first of all, Jennifer, thank you for having me and certainly to the Young Lawyers Division for putting this together. So technology is affecting our lives in ways that we never envisioned. And let me give you some interesting statistics. So every day we create the same amount of information, albeit digitally, in 48 hours as the equivalent amount of information from the beginning of time to the year 2003. That's a crazy statistic. In the year 2020, the average desktop computer or its equivalent will process information at the same level and speed as the human brain. And did you know that, that Google can predict a spike in the flu epidemic 3 days before the Centers for Disease Control?
I did not.
And so why is that? Because the CDC gets their information from doctors. Doctors report patient visits. They see a spike in patient visits. CDC sees the spike. What do we do before we go see our doctor? We Google our symptoms because we're lawyers and we think we're doctors and we want to make ourselves better. So 3 days before we go see our doctor or 2 days, we Google, sniffles, achy, headaches. We get some over-the-counter medication. Don't get better, get worse, go to the doctor. So Google sees these trends before the government ever sees them. And if you don't think that Google knows what's going on in your practice and in our profession, you're sadly mistaken because they do. So we need to embrace technology. We need to understand it is here and it is changing the way we practice law. And I say this to all the folks I speak to publicly. How many of you have Googled your area of practice? And I get 10, 20% of the hands go up. I say, let me tell you something. If you've not Googled your area of practice, you're at a significant disadvantage because trust me, your clients have. Before they walk into your office, they have Googled everything about you, about the area that they're there to visit you on. They've seen case law that come up, in Google searches. So these are the types of things that I think lawyers are slow to react to that we need to learn to get in front of.
That's certainly true, and I would think with Googling not only about your law practice, they're going to see your personal information too. If you're out on social media, posting inappropriate pictures, that type of thing as well. What advice would you have for young lawyers or lawyers alike with that?
Yeah, I think everybody needs to be very careful about their personal social media. My Facebook page is open. The most controversial thing you'll see on my Facebook page is maybe a picture of my son and I out quail hunting. And I got some emails on that, how dare you take your son hunting. So
it's okay in the Third Circuit.
It's okay in North Florida, but some other areas. But everybody needs to be very careful what they put on there, whether it be political statements, social statements, certainly inappropriate photographs, the picture of you and all of your friends with a bunch of empty vodka bottles, very bad idea. Because people are looking out there to see what you're about. Now, the flip side of this is it gives us an incredible opportunity because we can also search, if we have a prospective client coming in, them before they come in. And sometimes you may see some things that may question whether you even want to interview that client. So you want to know as much about them as they know about you. So it levels the playing field. But if you're not using it, it doesn't.
Certainly, and it levels the playing field. Opposing counsel is going to be able to do that down the road, and then issues with evidence destruction, advising the client, a lot of ethical considerations in that as well. I
just was reading an article on the way up here, not while I was driving, but it was just about that issue and about smartphones and whether or not a person was texting or on the phone is irrelevant at the time of the accident, but if they don't preserve that data, you can't prove or disprove it. So the evidence is changing in terms of what you have to do to preserve and protect and document what is on that smartphone to show I wasn't texting or calling. And if it's destroyed or deleted, that can be a problem. And these are things that are just evolving so quickly that we need to get our arms around them. We have to embrace them because they're here and they're moving quicker than we could ever imagine.
Greg, do you have any parting advice that you would give to any lawyer about technology? It's constantly evolving, so how do you keep up with that?
Sure, Jennifer. I would encourage everyone to stay engaged, to learn as much as you can about not just legal technology, but technology in general. And there are a number of different ways you can do that. There's a product called Flipboard, where you can go and in very short order learn about new technology that's coming out. You can visit our Practice Resource Institute on our website at www.flabar.org, and that gives new lawyers, existing lawyers, law students, a great resource of the technology and the technological changes that are occurring. So if you visit that area of our website, you can learn as much as you can spend the time to digest in terms of the changing technology as it relates to the practice.
Well, that's certainly great advice. Thank you so much for joining us here today and doing another video for Mentoring with the Masters. Certainly check with the Florida Bar website as well as the Young Lawyers Division website, flayld.org/masters, to see our entire video series on Mentoring with the Masters. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks Jennifer.
Greg.